Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It all depends where you are. I call myself Afro-Caribbean Queen, and I'm into the journey from my African journey. I also deal just with Black people in general and see where we difference and how we watch at things. But I'm also mostly aim on the motherland and trying to know who they are, of how they operate. This is a part two for, as I call it, high value black single mothers. What is by me the case is single mothers. My mother was self a single mother. I already talked about her journey in part one. So I just want to show that I follow partly her same footstep, but my opportunities was different than her own. As they will tell you in those days, we did not have no TV, we did not have no birth control pills and whatever they use, and we also abortion was not possible. But in my day and age, yes, it was possible. So how did I end up with three different kids with three different fathers? You see, everybody have their own experience, and sometimes it's very easier to judge if you do not know the whole story. We come also from mindsets that marriage is there, but it's not really a priority. We are accustomed seeing single mothers and things like that, so it's not really strange to us. It's not like it's something taboo or whatever like that. I will try to keep this in a very short of normal amount of time. Um, I myself, uh, I know I had my boyfriend in due time, and he was active, but no pregnancy drop. He asked me for marriage, which I refused. It's because he used to just like to cheat. And I was very fresh on the market. So I said, do I want in this case, even a husband, because he proposed, that is a cheating husband. I said, no, I do not want that. I do not want to be part of that. And the whole part of it is you have to understand how we look at marriage. We look at marriage as very negative. Even the words then was very negative. They will, when a boy even want to get married, they will say, you're going to hang yourself. Hey, you're going to get married. You will hang yourself. Oh. The woman will not leave you, do nothing. You cannot hang out with your friends no more and all of that. But like that, they used to tell the girls and also. The girls, they used to say, that one, he will tie you down. He will tie you down. So it wasn't nothing that was really promoting marriage. And what I see around me also was not promoting marriage. So we really, majority of us, I do not say all, majority of us did not had marriage in mind. And we have living together in mind. That one everybody have in mind. And I think the reason I did not really focus on marriage either is experience of the people I might see around me. I could remember my own cousin. She lived so long with her boyfriend. They lived long together. They even had a daughter together. And then she got pregnant again. So they decide leave them, make it legal, and get married. And not because she was pregnant with twins. And in a shorter time, I think it's not even reached up to 2 years. They got divorced. So I asked her, she's my senior cousin. I asked her, how come did you get divorced? All the years you lived together, you're getting divorced now. How come? She said, my cousin, she said when we was living together, we do everything together. Who come home first, we start doing the cooking and start doing this and start doing that. She said the day the man put the ring on her finger, the day he put the ring on her finger, he start telling her, no, you are my wife. Those things you have to do yourself. So she said he just changed and she couldn't cope with that. So that was for me already like, living is better than getting married. And I see a lot of people around me. They got married, and it was just divorcing back, front, and center, back, front, and center. So for me, it was like this marriage is bad news. While I see some people living together, and they're living together for years, for years, they make kids together, they're living together, no problem. Once marriage, I even know a couple. They was boyfriend, girlfriend. They got married. They got kids. They got divorced. After they went back together, living together, they decide they're not going to get married again. They continue living together. So that's the type of experience I had around me. So come back to the topic that particular boyfriend of mine, that cheating boyfriend. I said, no, 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 no. I'm not doing that. And I even went to his own island. I stayed there. When it became too much for me, I even left the island, even telling him. He went to work, I just left the island. Good character or bad character, I do not know. I left the island. And I think I did that because if I tell him I'm going to leave, he will talk me into it again. No, do not leave, I will change, blah, 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 blah. I think I did not want that. So I think that's the reason I just left like that, because I do not want to hear stories again. And when I went back to the island I was brought up on, I was going to visit my friend, a girlfriend of mine I know as a child. And then we used to hike right. As I said, you were hike right to see if the person could drop you. Then it was possible, it was safe. So this person actually dropped me there. And when they finished dropping me, they invite me out. I tell me it's okay. So when I went out with them, I went together with my friend because you do not know the person and all of that. This person seemed to be a very, very, very nice person, very polite. This guy was so polite. You do not even hear his voice raised. He talked very gentle. But his hand is always in his lap. We will sit down in the car when he dropped me home. We will sit down there hours and talk. His hand is always in his lap. Very polite guy. And in all his politeness like this, I did not understand because, by everybody is teenagers and that one, they just like, this guy is very polite. And I come to understand why he was polite like that. Because we will go out, we will hold hand, we will go movies, we will go there, we will hold hand. And he will drop me, we will talk. Very nice guy. Then I come to understand that he invited me to church. I said, oh, this one is a church boy. I told you I'm not into church. That time I was not into church. I tell him no. But he was very a polite guy. A lot of manners, a lot of respect. The guy always keep his hand to himself. Till a day he asked me for marriage. I like, marriage. Do not forget, this piece I'm missing. I already had to come to Europe to study. Yeah, I had to come to Europe to study. My cheating boyfriend, I canceled ticket, cancel school, cancel everything. To just remain with this cheating boyfriend of my own. Then I make up my mind. I said, I cannot leave my future go like that. So I put new dates. So when I came back to the island that I was brought up on, then I meet this polite guy, very polite. We went around for a few months. He was very polite, keep his hand to himself. We meet each other regular. A very nice guy. Till a day he asked me for marriage. I was like, marriage? I did not know how to look at it. I start laughing. I think I laughed because I did not know how to behave that particular time. Or I also was like just starting up my life and I have to go and study. I have to look for a profession, study for a profession. And I already was thinking, later this man, we get married, then we have child 1, child 2, child 3, I will be home, I will not even have a proper education, I did not study for no profession. And I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that. So I think that was partly the reason I was laughing. And I think he felt bad, but he did not say nothing. We just continued seeing each other. Now the time come for me to come for my studies because school was already arranged, the house already, the school was arranged, the place to stay was arranged, ticket was arranged, you understand? And that's nasty again. I left him without telling him nothing, nothing. And I was telling a friend of mine years after about that. She turned around, she told me that is not polite. I said, what is wrong with it? She said, you think that is a polite behavior, you will not tell a person? I said, but we had something, but we really, really, really did not have anything. We just boyfriend, girlfriend. You understand? Shtem is not polite. I come to understand years after, it's not a correct behavior. It's not a correct behavior. Anyway, I never had marriage in mind. What I well had in mind, I do not want to make my children with a man that already have a kid. That yes, I had in mind. I say because I had in my mind, if I make a child with a man that already have a child of children, he's not taking care of them. He will not take care of my own. So that I had well in my mind. And I never had marriage in my mind. So, okay. I left. I did not tell him, unpolite. Unpolite. Then I came and already starting school and things like that. And I accidentally meet up in the Centrum. I accidentally meet up my son's father. I was already 2 years in my studies and I met him up. He also was here in Europe doing his own studies. And so when I met him, we make a date, we went out, and like that we start hooking up with each other. But due to the fact, in the past, I never got pregnant, so I thought I cannot get pregnant. That I thought, because some of us in Ireland also do not get pregnant, so that is what I thought. I think it have a lot to do with ignorance. So I got pregnant. Hey, that one. He a student, I a student. We are just going around with each other. Pregnancy drop. Hey, nobody was preparing for pregnancy. Or I was not prepared for no pregnancy. He either. Both of us in the middle of our education. So decide to keep the kid. So my father also was living in Europe. He was the one who was paying my school and all of that. He wasn't pleased. He was very, very angry with me. Very angry. So this guy also be like, okay, how are we going to do this? Because I know this is not a relationship that I will have the rest of my life. So then we just arrange, okay, we helping each other with this child. He will have to go to school. By that time I stopped because I have nobody to mind my child for me regular. So I stopped a while and he continued going to school. But like that, the relationship like went apart. But we just continue having contact with each other. No problem with that. I always have in my mind, I never keep a child away from the father. I do not want that. I do not like that. I find it's the duty of the father to have contact with the child. That is my mindset. Yeah. So like that, everybody like went their own separate ways, but we will just have for the child will spend weekends and things like that. So after a while, I went on the island on vacation, and I met an old neighbor of my own. My mother told me that they came to visit me because they hear I'm on the island. So I said, no problem. I will go by their house. I told my mother tomorrow to thank them for visiting me. You understand? And my mother said they stay a while and tell they left. Because I went out with my own girlfriend on the island. I know as a child. So when she told me the ex-neighbor, her son even came himself, I'm like, why is he coming? Because where my mother lived and where they are staying and where they are living is a good distance, but they have a car. So I make it my business to go the following day to visit. And I told you it's a distance. I did not have no car. So it's a distance for me to reach there where they was living. So the woman was just like my mother. She teach me how to braid. We was neighbors in the past. So I always consider her my mother. So I told her, thank you for coming to visit me. She was so glad to see me, asked me how is this in Europe, blah, 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 blah. She said her son gone to work. He will be coming just now. And indeed, this guy with six-pack enter. My dear. He's 2 years my junior. And I know from young age, he always had a crush on me. But I just used to watch a team like, watch a this small boy. He will tell me I'm black, I'm ugly. He will hit me with rock. It had occasions that his mother and my mother meet each other. My mother tell his mother, "Hey, your son is hitting my daughter with rock. Please talk to your son. You understand?" So, so now he's entering much more adult now. Six pack. Before we get yourself, we start talking. Small, small. His mother did not know. My mother did not know. So when I came back after my vacation, we keep corresponding. And then we agree in due time for him to come over. That was something else. It was not, it was a very, very funny experience. It's because he's a very good guy, but not for me. He was not that mature. He came from his mother house straight to me. He had this kind of mindset. He had this kind of traditional mindset. Let's put it this way. He will go to work. The woman have to stay home. He will give you all the money. He do not even take up not even 5 cents off of the bank. He leave everything in your charge. You have to just give him something to buy like every week. So he could buy his cigarette. He could go and play his billiard, as they will call it, or go and play his darts. And that was his life. Walk home, and every Sunday sit down, watch studio sport. He like watching at sports. Do not tell him about going no party. Do not ask him to go no party. He's not into that. He's not into that. And he even wanted me to stop going to work. I tell him I cannot do that. I cannot do that. So in due time, I got a child after 5 years from the first one. So, but I had a miscarriage. And the way he behaved, one thing he was very emotionally or mentally, he will really insult. He's very insultive. He do not know to go around his emotions. He do not know how to communicate. And his communication is most time, he will pile up things, and then it explode like a bomb. And he will come with some very, very nasty words. So when I had that miscarriage, oh, the amount of words he told me, he called me all kind of names. And in that time, I self have issue with the miscarriage. So the amount of things he told me, hey, he was not sensitive with it at all. Short after that, I got pregnant again. So after what he wanted, so I already had a son. He was a very good stepfather. Ha. He was very, very good for my son. So, but now I got his own child, and he wanted more. But the relationship was not going good. The insults, the way he went about things, the immaturity. Everybody is working. I will start taking out like me to cook for the following day. He's always on 4:45, 5 o'clock. Not a second after. He will not even say, and I will be home something to 6, after 6. He will not say leave him start cooking. It's not his duty. You find that is not his own job. We even have to carry the kids them to sports, swimming lesson, football. He's not doing none of that. He will wait till I come from work to go carry the children to sports, come back home, cook food for everybody to eat. So you're in a relationship, but it's just like you're living alone. And like that, I try even to continue studying. And this man, he was not happy with that. Anytime that I have exam, he will look for fight a week before. He will look for fight. Sometimes I did not even know where the fight is coming from. But I have a week to study. I want to study it for my exam that is coming. Always a fight. When I even pass my exam, he never even tell me congrats. Nothing at all. So it was just going like, I think it drained me. It really, really, really drained me because I feel like I'm alone. I'm trying to make progress. He himself, I said, don't you try to go higher up? But he said, no, the job he's doing fine. He could stay like that. I see you will stay just like that, tell your pension. He said, yes, I have no problem with it. I find it like this is very good. I said, I cannot cope with that. I cannot cope. And is the mental abuse that did not even stop. And I did not want to have the kids up in that kind of environment. And things will go bad. I will tell him, I'm going to leave this relationship. I cannot cope anymore. He will send his friend. I used to call his friend the pastor. That one will talk with me, talk with me, tell me, he will change, give him a chance, blah, blah, blah. That happened 1,001 times. I say, you're sending your pastor friend again. The boy was not a pastor. I used to call him a pastor. It's because the way he would be pleading for him. After a while, I couldn't cope with that anymore. And then when he saw that I really, really, really do not want him any longer, that all of that love turned into hate. That hate cost me 2 years of stalking. The man stalked me for 2 years. From love went over to hate. So that one, I left that relationship. And still let me have my break, my pause, everything like that. But in due time, I started having like physical problem, no, medical problem. And I went and checked up. The doctor told me I have a lot of fibroids. I cannot get pregnant again. I had no problem with that because I already had a boy and a girl. I did not need any more kids, so it's no problem. So I even come off the birth control. I had no partner by that time, so just like, okay, let me take a break with my body with this birth control or whatever. Then I started a relationship again, and I did not even went back on the pill, but nothing happened. I said, I have fibroids. Nothing cannot happen. Nothing can happen. You understand? Nothing can happen. So, he himself, that relationship also asked me for marriage. I told him I do not want because I see how the relationship was going. And I know for that marriage, I do not think it would have worked. You understand? So that was also a part of his problem. He wanted me to get married. First time in my life I hear a man say, you're using me because I do not want to marry to them. Never hear that. I always hear a woman say the man is using them. But in his case, he always say, you're using me. I do not know in what form. But anyway, so I end up in another relationship for a while, a good while. But that separation was totally different. That one had to go back, and I did not want to follow. Then we'll come back to the island with them. I said, no, I'm not doing that. So I just wanted to relax, no more stress, no more living together, just relax. And I end up with someone who's much, much more my junior. That one. No woman, no, my woman is in the US. We have nothing together anymore. We just have kids. No, that one is in the US, blah, blah, blah. We started relationship. Hey, God mercy. I end up pregnant. Can you imagine the shock of my life? I'm already going up in age. The guy is much my junior. And he is borrow. Borrow. You know what borrow means? He's not your own. You are borrowing. You understand? That one. When I told that one, I said I'm pregnant too. You know what I like with them? They told me this. Whatever choice you make, I will stand behind of you. Whatever your choice, I will stand behind of you. And they really did. It turns so that even the woman that in due time came, that he said he had nothing with, I supposed to know better. Even she accepted the child. Tell up to today. They're just, when he tell me he's going by her, I just have to shut up. You understand? She had planning. She had all the kids, them dressed the same. He also is one of them dressed the same. And so they just became a family like that. He will tell me, yeah, I'm going to ma. So when he tell me he's going to ma, I know he's talking about her. I do not even break my head. He and his brothers get along very good. You understand? Like that, I end up with child number 3. But when I told my mother I was pregnant, my mother told me, my daughter, you bring that grandchild of my own, eh? You will bring that grandchild of my own. I will help you. You bring that grandchild. That one. My mother, I Apollo. Every time you see them whispering in corner, he alone knows how my mother have everything in her house. They're always whispering. Ask him a day, why are you always, what do you be whispering with grandma like that? You always whispering. He told me that between he and his grandmother. You understand? So I never interfere. So like that, I get myself with 3 different fathers with 3 different children. Okay. Did I have to make a choice to abort them? Why? I survive okay with them. You understand? I try my best with them. I'm a single mother. But now, I'm a married woman. I do not even have no child with this one I married with. You see, in due time, I told you I started my African journey. Then I started getting myself in the midst of the Africans. And they was explaining me the importance of marriage, which I never saw before. And I did not see nothing wrong with it. So there was, even though the woman I call my so good as my mother, she told me once she was on vacation, and I was telling her, I said, if I watch back to the years, I say I was proposed several times. I say I always refused. But she was a person who was married. You know what she told me? She said, don't you know, if a person proposed to you, that is an honor. I said, honor for what? She was so shocked that I responded like that. But nobody never told me that before. I come from a line of people who was not married. So, and by that time I wasn't married either. So when she told me that, she had to explain me why it was her honor, because even her son even asked me for marriage. So she had to explain me where is the honor and what is the honor. You understand? So that is it. A lot of us, through lack of knowledge, of also scared, for okay, it's not going to work. So nobody really print on us to, yeah, you have to get married, get married. Tell up to now, I will see around me, a lot of them still have that type of mindset. That, oh, marriage always scatter, just let's live together. I know my own sister is living more than 40 years together. They never got married, my senior sister. They never got married, but they're living more than 40 years together. And no kids in that marriage. No kids was produced in that marriage. It was not by choice, but no kids was produced in that marriage. And they're 40 years together. You understand? So that is my journey, of my own journey, not being married. And please, I get to understand. Send, subscribe, share my video, and thumbs up or thumbs down if you do not like it. And it's nice if I get a response, so I will know if everything going good, yes or no. I try not to keep it long. I try my utmost best not to keep it long. So, but anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me your attention. And I hope I was clear and you understand my story. So sometimes you should not just judge because the person is single. You and different fathers. You have to see why, of how is the situation end up like that, and do they have to just abort because it's a different father. Anyway, thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching, of listening to me again. And please share. I want to reach at least 500. So please help me to share. Have a nice night and till next week again.